So far we have seen the 5th edition and 6th edition, the various editions of Kent repertory. After 3rd edition, 4th edition was published, 5th edition was published. And this is a very common question that examiner will ask you, that name the publishers of 2nd edition, 3rd edition. We don't know about 2nd edition, but publisher of 3rd edition, 4th edition, 5th edition, and 6th edition. So I just finished all these editions published by Ehrhardt and Karl, and the number of people have assisted. So this assistance, without their assistance, it would have been very impossible to publish the Ehrhardt and Karl, the various editions. Now there is one important aspect of this handwritten copy of 3rd edition of Kent repertory. In the first meeting, I have told you that this 3rd edition handwritten copy is very, very important, and there are these 3 editions of the 3rd edition of Kent repertory having 3 important handwritten copies. That means before going to the publisher, before the 3rd edition was published, there was 300 copies. Out of that, first copy was given to Dr. Ehrhardt and Karl for publishing the 3rd edition, but after, and which was published after 8 years after death of Dr. Kent as a 3rd edition. So that one edition is gone to, sorry, one handwritten copy gone to Dr. Ehrhardt and Karl. Now there are 2 more copies. Out of that 2 copies, the second copy was with in the possession of Dr. F.E. Gladwin and Dr. J.S. Paul. And these 2 great persons have done great work that they have compared the published 3rd edition with the actually handwritten copy. And they have found so many printing mistakes. They have corrected those printing mistakes. They have written, they have annotated this 3rd edition of Kent repertory, and they have annotated, they have corrected with the objective of publishing better editions, and accordingly this annotated copy were handed over to Dr. Austin, and Dr. Austin gave this edition to Dr. Perry Smith, and Dr. Perry Smith was ready to print this annotated copy as a 4th edition. But meanwhile, that edition, the annotated copy, was stolen, and it was vanished for few years. Nobody could trace where this annotated copy, which was in the possession of Dr. Perry Smith, went. And then, with the help of this, the 3rd copy. So the 2nd copy was stolen, which was an annotated copy, and 3rd copy was in the possession of Dr. Clara Louise Kent. We will just learn something about this dedication of Dr. Clara Louise Kent, 3rd wife of Dr. Kent. And this 3rd copy, again, it was compared with the published 3rd edition, and this with the help of 3rd copy of original handwritten copy of Kent repertory. The remaining task of publishing of 4th edition, 5th edition, and 6th edition were completed, and afterwards this stolen Kent repertory was later on retrieved by some Indian eminent personality, Dr. Diwan Harishchan, and then that Dr. Diwan Harishchan handed over this copy to Dr. Smith, and with the help of that copy, Dr. Perry Smith later on has published Kent's final general repertory. So this is all about that story of that handwritten copy of 3rd edition. This handwritten copy is very much important to understand 4th edition, 5th edition, and 6th edition, and it is also important to understand the various works on the various editions of Kent repertory. So with this, I conclude this historical background. I hope it is clear that you have understood about the handwritten copy of third edition of Chain Repertory.